Hi, guys. Welcome to this short episode of the Improving Always podcast. Here, we're going to take questions from athletes who are struggling with confidence issues, anxiety, or other mental issues that are stopping them from playing as well as they can. And we're going to help those individual athletes individually. So I have a question here from G. Sulaidi. I hope I said that right on my Instagram. And it says, I've been struggling with overthinking in football. I'm always nervous, even in training sessions, and it's so hard for me mentally because if I make one mistake, after that, it just goes downhill. And I always think too much every time, and it messes me up. And I can barely even control the ball anymore. I don't have any confidence, and I think about avoiding mistakes instead of actually trying to play with my full potential. This past week, I've been playing like a beginner, just trying to control the ball. I take too long and release the ball late because I have no control. I really need confidence, but I don't know how to fix it.
That's a common question. That is something that I think every single athlete in the entire world can relate to, that they're stuck in their head and they have trouble playing rather than, thinking. And that's the differentiator. When you're thinking too much, it's hard to act, right? There's this old story of a frog is sitting looking at a caterpillar in the woods, right? And the frog goes up to him and be like, man, I don't know how you do it. Sometimes I got 4 legs and you got 100 legs. How do you move all those legs? And the caterpillar just stood there and tried to explain how to move, and they just got frozen. It's like, I can't. When you think about how something does, even something as simple as walking, it's that analysis paralysis. So I think that's what's going on with this person. So the first thing that popped into my head is changing your perspective on what is confidence, what makes you feel good. And a lot of people, and you could totally know exactly what I'm talking about, is outcome. They're only focused on when I win a game or score a goal. If I make a PK, I'm happy. If I miss a PK, I'm bad. Mm-hmm. And it's this black and white. I'm only confident when I do something well, which is one of the silliest mindsets I've ever seen. All the pros, they don't care if they win or lose. And people don't believe me. They don't. They want to perform. They have what's called a mastery approach, which they're focused on effort. That is it. Their only goal to give them confidence is, did I play to the best of my ability? Did I learn? And even if it's I made 5 billion mistakes, but did I learn from the mistakes? Did I grow from the mistakes? Then they're happy, and that leads to one huge piece of confidence is performing for the love of the game, for the love of mastery, for the love of improvement, for the love of getting right. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think that there's this big misconception, as you said, that it's all about success. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the age of this player, but I would guess that if they're following me, they're probably a young player, probably in their teens. And at that point, something I say a lot that I get a lot of people disagree with me on is that results do not matter at all until you're probably like maybe 14 or 15, but probably not even then, right? Because at the end of the day, when I'm working with athletes, I want them to succeed after they play with me. I want them to succeed when they're 18, 19, 20, 25. And success can look very, very different. Success for some person could just be continuing to play the sport and enjoy it, right? And for other people, it will be playing in college, playing semi-professionally, or whatever it is. But if you are 15, the most important thing is not performing. It is improving, right? Yeah. And it's so much more important to learn from your mistakes. And I think that players think that coaches are looking for the perfect player, when we're not looking for the perfect player, because no players are perfect. The most important thing to me is that a player is willing to have the ball at their feet or the ball in their hands, whatever sport it is, right, is willing to take that game-winning shot. Whether they make it or not doesn't matter as much to me as the confidence to step up. I remember I took a penalty once in a game and I missed and I was crushed. And, we lost that shootout. And I was, a reason that we lost that shootout. And it was really tough. And my coach came up to me and he said, Christo, you were the first one when I asked who wants to take a penalty. Your hand went up first. That means so much more to me than whether you scored the penalty or missed. You succeeded just by stepping up. And that, it changes your whole perspective when you think about just doing your best rather than focusing on what the end result is. Because especially for young players, but you learn this as a young player, and then professional athletes also, have the same perspective because they've had it for so long, is you focus on the process. And if you focus on the process, the results will come. They might not come tomorrow. They might not come this year, but they will come if you just consistently focus on the hard work and, the process that you're going through to get there.
And that's the main point, that when I say pros don't focus on the outcome, but they're playing for $1 million each round, right? Like, the reason why they can play at that high level is because they're focusing on the effort, not the outcome. If you're sitting playing, I'm working with like a PGA player, right? And it's between one putt, last putt, and all you're thinking about is, I sink this. This is a couple $1 million. You're not going to sink it. Like, there's no way in hell. If you're only focused on that outcome, you're not. You're focused on learning, growing. And the results, as you said, come. If you're entirely focused on learning, growing, the results will come. I can promise any collegiate team I work with, pro team I work with, the results come when you change your mindset to focusing on that. So that's brilliant. The point I wanted to kind of say before is, you had a good coach, though.
True.
A good coach, right? That's what all my players, the people that step up, you can't say anything to those players. All the people that are sitting on the bench that didn't raise their hand, you can't yell at them that we lost the game. Absolutely not. You're hiding in the bunker. They stepped up they're gladiators. They're in the arena. You're in the stands. So even when my players go, I say, don't listen to them. How could you possibly listen to someone in the stands?
There's that the critic is not the one that counts, right? That nice quote. Like, it doesn't matter what other people are saying. That, like, I remember it was the Euro, the final of the Euros, when Saka stepped up and missed his penalty. Or all three of them, right? Rashford and Sancho as well. But look at the situation that they're in, and they're brave enough to step up and take a penalty. Hats off to them. It doesn't matter to me whether they succeed. They succeeded just by stepping up. And that's the perspective that players need to have. Yep. Is that the best thing that you can do is keep putting yourself in situations that, I understand they can be very stressful, but it's important. Do you have any tips that you use to distract, if you're having a lot of negative thoughts, or if one of your athletes is struggling with constantly thinking negatively, say they mess up early in a game, do you have any tricks to help them get back on track?
So I'm huge into mindfulness, huge into breathing, right? You take a couple deep breaths in your nose for 3, out your mouth for 6. It slows down your heart rate, right? Decreases the cortisol, so you're able to focus a little bit better, right? Mm-hmm. And then also part of mindfulness is being in the present moment, which means there's no mistakes. It's gone. It's forgiven immediately. And I think the original question, the guy has trouble letting go of mistakes. So he was staying stuck in the past, right? So the example I give to everyone is, pretend I'm going for a walk, right? And at this point, I fall down, right? If I'm critical, I could spend the rest of my walk going, I can't believe I fell down. I'm so stupid. I'm the worst person in the world. And I've just missed an hour of real life playing time because I was stuck at whatever time I fell down. So being able to just be mindful of, I had a bad pass. Okay, right? I lost possession of the ball. Okay. But now, are you stuck on that one mistake, or can you be mindful and be present, right? Because if you make a mistake and you recover. I had a British coach when I was younger, and he would scream, "Fix
Nice.
it, fix it, fix it." But that was like his version of mindfulness. It didn't matter what happened, just fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you that you made a mistake, but now recover. That's all I need you to do is fix it. And like that kind of mindset, I really push with anyone I work with. Awesome, you made a mistake. Fantastic. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. Like I love taking, like, I do like 5 deep breaths to, like, close my eyes, 5 deep breaths to reset, even just in life. Like, if you know, when you're having one of those days where like it seems like everything's going wrong, and then you stub your toe or something, and you're like, oh my God, like just like the smallest thing. And then you realize like how stressed you are, and you're just like, look, it's not a big deal. It might be like 9 a.m. and you're already thinking that it's a bad day. Like, you've been up for like what, an hour or two, like you have the whole day left. If that happens in a game, in the first minute you make a mistake, you have 89 minutes. Well, whatever the game is, whatever the sport is, whatever level you're playing at, you have a lot more time. One mistake doesn't mean you're going to have a bad game. Professionals make mistakes all the time. The most impressive thing is that they recover quickly and they move right on to the next one.
I like soccer players to watch baseball. The odds of hitting a baseball is 1 out of 4 if you're good.
Yeah.
1 out of 3 if you're the best person in the world. That's the odds that they go up to bat every single day, every single week, and go, slim to none chance I'm going to hit this baseball right now. But they do it. That's the mindset that I want soccer players. You have so many touches. You have millions of touches, millions of opportunities. This is not just they touch the ball once in a game. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Of course, you let go. You have that mindset. All right, next at bat. Next time.
I'm so glad I wasn't like a baseball player, or like golf is like literally my nightmare of like it's like taking a penalty. Like literally every play is like it's just you and a ball. Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like, maybe that's why I'm so terrible at golf. But yeah,
in the zone, they don't care. It's all right. This says par 4. I'm gonna hit it in 2 or 3.
Yeah. So I think that's where we'll wrap up this episode, but we'll be back. We'll take another athlete situation and try to analyze it and try to help them with some tips and some changes of perspective. Yep. Tune in. I'll put the links to our social media in the description, and make sure you're following both of us, especially Peter, because he puts out some awesome content. All right. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.